Welcome to our viewers to Art of Feminine's first video for 2021, and we would like to encourage everyone to follow the YouTube page as well as the Instagram account of Art of Feminine. So why Art of Feminine? So Art of Feminine is a community, a safe space for women in order to receive coaching as well as relationship advice, which will improve their sense of self-worth and to enable them to have better and healthier relationships. And our motto is, how can you be the best version of yourself? So please follow our Instagram account as well as our YouTube account for our retreats and our coaching sessions, as well as our conferences and interviews with a range of different specialists in relationships and femininity, ranging from mediators and psychologists to lawyers as well. So why femininity? Why is it important for us to analyze from the outset femininity? I think at the outset I should emphasize that we live in a society where the masculine and the feminine have become very conflated. You almost have to be apologetic if you want to be feminine. And yet at the same time, I have personally in my own life, as well as with the females who I know, have witnessed the destruction that this really can cause in terms of identity as a woman, because femininity is power. And femininity is also what God has given to each and every single woman in their own unique way. And without accessing and tapping into your femininity, I have found that it robs women of so much that life has to give. And the reason why is because femininity is a mindset of value. That each and every single woman has value. They have value to themselves, and they have value to the communities in which they live and work. And once that mindset is enabled and empowered, I have seen in my own life, and I have seen with other women, that it is very powerful in order to equip them to have far more healthier relationships and to experience life in a far more richer and fuller way. And I think because it is essentially a Christian ministry, it would be wise for me to recall the words of King David in Psalm 139 verse 13. For you formed my inward parts, you covered me in my mother's womb. I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and that my soul knows very well. And that is essentially what Art of Feminine is all about. It is reconnecting with God's purpose in your life as a woman and as a feminine being. And so that each and every single woman in our community knows their sense of self-worth, and so that they can take that into all of their relationships, whether they be personal relationships or business relationships as well. So I think today what we're going to address are 5 traits of femininity, 5 fundamental traits which will be developed in 2022. And the first trait is self-care. Self-care means to feed yourself emotionally, spiritually, aesthetically, and in other ways that you need in order to feel more like a feminine being. So let's look at aesthetic care. I think that we live in a day and age where women have a vast amount of aesthetic improvement available to them. And on the one hand, it's not to encourage extreme narcissism and vanity to the extent that women feel like they can become cold and cruel. But at the end of the day, once you know more about men, you discover that men are visual creatures. They respond very well to the aesthetic, but far more than that, taking care of yourself, your body, how you look, how you present yourself, really does boost a woman's self-esteem. So for the ladies in our community, no matter what their age, because we deal with women from all age groups, and no matter what your physique, self-care is fundamentally important to how you feel, and it improves your sense of happiness of yourself. So that includes things like going to the gym, getting your hair done, getting your nails done, wearing clothes that fit properly, that make you feel comfortable, and presenting your best face forward, because that goes a long way to making you feel like you have that confidence that you need in order to approach life. And then there's also spiritual self-care, taking the time to spend time with God, taking the time to surround yourself with people who uplift you and affirm you and correct you in love when needed, but who are looking out for your best interests. And that is why we started this community of women, because what I've always found is that by and large women battle to find that amongst other women. Women are sometimes very cruel. We deal a lot with women who have been bullied, for example, in their youth by other women. They've been affected by jealousy by other women. And we try to create a very safe space for our women where they can have nourishing female friendships that nurture them, that want the best for them. And that is very important to cultivate in your life, so that you have a tribe. You have a tribe of ladies who want the best for you, and who look out for you, and who add value to your life. And then, of course, there's the emotional food that you need, the emotional self-care of taking time out when you know that you're feeling burnt out, when you know that your bucket is full, to say, I need to pause now and I need to take some time out for myself. I think that we live in a society where burnout is celebrated, running yourself into the ground is somehow to be lauded, and all that leads to is a feeling where you feel disempowered and you feel dry as toast. So I would encourage our ladies to really think about time management, and taking time for yourself, because I often think living in a city like Johannesburg, you're part of a rat race, and after a while everyone's a rat. You need to start thinking about how you can reconnect to what you're all about, and what makes you happy, and find ways to feed yourself in that regard. So self-care can also be creativity, and women are creatives by and large. And particularly with Art of Feminine, I have met so many creative women, whether that's photography or artwork or making food or dressmaking. These are very powerful mechanisms for a woman to really just feel like there's more to life than work and worry and stress. The second trait is to start listening to your God-given intuition, that gut feeling that I think most women, if not all women, have. And women inherently, and it's inherently feminine, are intuitive. And by and large, what I find is that many women are made to feel like they should ignore their intuition, they should not listen to that gut feeling, or they should apologize for it. And I think by and large, most women are people pleasers. They have a real difficulty to say no, and they feel very bad for saying no. And listening to your intuition means being in tune with yourself so that you can guard yourself if you feel and sense that there's danger ahead. And that is incredibly feminine. The third trait is what we call leaning back. What is leaning back? Leaning back means living in the present, not worrying about tomorrow or the next week or the next month. It's enjoying the current present, the current view, the current environment, taking a deep breath and taking it all in. What it also means is that women and feminine women do not chase things. and in particular, we do not chase men. It is quite important for ladies to realize that leaning back is a very powerful mechanism in the sense of something that is completely polar to the masculine. And the masculine is to pursue and to chase and to conquer. Once you learn about leaning back, it is very powerful, and I find that particularly very masculine men really do appreciate this feminine trait. I once read a quote that said, "The flower does not need to chase the bee. All it needs to do is to bloom." So leaning back is leaning back in that radiance, that beautiful essence that I think every single woman has, that beautiful essence that I've seen in so many of our ladies, and all they have to do is radiate. And it's amazing how that really unlocks a variety of different possibilities in your life when you are confident and comfortable enough to do that. The fourth trait is to honor the masculine. It's to honor the masculine. We live in a society where men are under extreme pressure. They don't find many safe spaces with women in particular for a variety of different reasons. And it's basically the notion that you treat the men in your life with dignity, affirmation, and respect, because those are deeply grounded in a man's love needs. And we'll develop that theme later on in 2022. What are women's love needs and what are a man's love need? But what it also does is that it unlocks the concept that healthy relationships are based on two people turning up full. What many people believe is that someone can make you happy, and that is why singlehood has become kind of associated with almost being a pariah, because there's this belief that if you just have someone in your life, they will make you happy. And that is a myth. It's a fallacy. Healthy relationships happen where two positives meet each other. If there's a negative in someone's life, a void, an unhealthy vacancy, with the expectation that a positive, someone full, is going to fill you and make you happy, all that happens is that somebody is going to end up depleted. The fifth trait is find ways to feed your self-confidence. Self-confidence is very much a feminine trait. What is self-confidence? Self-confidence is not walking on other people and crushing other people with your words and your actions. Self-confidence is being vulnerable. There's huge power in being vulnerable. It's being receptive, so that if somebody gives you a gift or a compliment, you receive that with grace. It's being empathetic and compassionate, and it's being secure in yourself. If there are other women around and they're around a man that you're with, it's being secure in a business setting. If you're going for a meeting, that once again you're putting your best face forward. This is the best version of yourself, and you can rest assured and feel self-confident in that. So that's the end of our video for today. I really hope that you can join us and join our community. If you liked anything about this video, please would you like the video, and would you please click the subscribe button and join our Instagram community, and we really look forward to welcoming you to our Art of Feminine events.